I'll do a cover every now and then.
Yeah.
So I break into Like a Rolling Stone, and suddenly some guy walks in, and he's just looking at me as I'm finishing up the song, and I'm all done, and he starts clapping really loudly. He walks up to the stage and says, "I was walking by out to this bar outside. I heard you. I had to come in. That was awesome." And he's like, "Hey, here it is for you." And he just threw a 20 at me on the stage and walked back out.
Wow.
I was like, okay, I guess he just liked that one song. So, I remember saying to the people who were in the room, I said, I guess the outdoor speakers are working tonight.
Yeah.
And I had another one, I was playing up in another place.
You better play that song again, huh?
Yeah, and I was out at another place setting up beforehand, and, one of the last things I did was, open up the guitar case, put it by the door, and, open it up for, in case tips, and I put business cards in there, and people walking in now can grab a business card, and so I'm setting up the guitar case, and I'm putting it on top of these, a couple of magazine racks that they have there, and while doing it, I hit the bottom of their fire alarm lever. Now, I thought that you had to, pull this lever, because that's the instruction. It says pull down. So, apparently these things go off if you kind of hit the bottom of them, too, and don't even have to even pull. Because the fire alarm goes off in this place like crazy. And so they finally get the alarm turned off, but the fire department still has to come out and answer the call.
Right.
So I'm up there, and I start playing, and I'm in the front of the store playing, and there's this huge glass wall window behind me, and suddenly it becomes like a laser light show, because the fire trucks are driving in with all the lights on, and they're honking their horns at everybody. And so I kind of had this little laser light show there behind me, and the fire department did, firefighters came in, and they were very gracious, and, I asked what happened. I told them, and they're like, oh, okay, well, we just had to come out and check. But so I inadvertently had a laser light show behind me during one performance.
And it cost you nothing. That's great.
Set off a fire alarm.
You didn't have to pay any tech crew or... We mentioned your website. There's other stuff out there that we know of, Facebook, MySpace, a lot of these YouTube and all of these. Do you use any of those sites?
Yeah, I do. I got into them for their music purposes. I do have a MySpace page. And if you go to my website, domrocks.com, and click the tab there that says links, I've got a list of the official current profiles that I have on networking sites. I do have a MySpace page. I have a secondary MySpace page as well that is exclusively for a 5-song EP I did in the fall of 2007 called Remember Me, New Original Folk Music for the American Soldier. And it's a themed 5-song collection that sounds exactly like the title would have you describe. It's, I did that, it grew out of the relationships I had with some active duty military and veterans organizations. So I have a separate MySpace just for that project. You can find me on Reverb Nation, and if you sign up for my email list on Reverb Nation, you get a couple of exclusive download songs. And that Reverb Nation page also links into Facebook. So I also have a Facebook page. It's basically a duplicate of all the information on the Reverb Nation page. And then I have an old page that I don't use very much anymore, but it still does technically exist on GarageBand.com. For a while now, I've also had an electronic press kit for people looking to book musicians. I belong to that network, although I'm not quite sure how long I'll maintain that press kit, because it's almost becoming duplicated by all the other network sites I'm on now. So
right,
I'm not sure how long I'll maintain that one. But the MySpace, the two MySpaces, the Reverb Nation, and that special Facebook application page that you can access through the Facebook site, those are pretty much the ones that I monitor the most and that are the most stable as far as, I do update the content and use them.
There's so many sites. I mean, it's funny. It's like networking has just been the thing for internet sites. Everything from, social sites are just amazing. You've got MySpace and Facebook and even YouTube. People are using YouTube for all kinds of things now. And
if I got into video, I would use YouTube more. You have a couple of quote-unquote music videos out there, and you can find them at some of my various online presence.
All right, well, All right, so we've got to wrap this up, but Dom, thanks so much for doing the show, man.
Well, thank you. It's been a lot of fun. And like I said, I have been able to, even though you're all the way down in North Carolina and I'm up here in southern New Jersey, I have been able to watch an episode of your show on YouTube. And seems like an interesting enough format, and I'm flattered that you asked me to be part of one of your episodes.
Yeah, man, anytime. Everybody go to Dom's website. You have to check out his music up there, a couple of CDs that he's got, his music video, and of course, the links that are on the page that go to MySpace, Facebook, and various other pages. You can add them to your Facebook, add them to your MySpace. Be sure to keep up with Dom's music. And Dom, thanks again. We'll do it again real soon, man. DomRocks.com. This week's Weird Guitar of the Week is actually a bass guitar, and it's tiny. You may or may not be able to tell from the picture there, but it's only a couple of feet long. It's extremely small, and the weird part about it is not just the shape, which seems to be pretty unique, but it's the actual strings and the specific details of the design. Let's take a look at the string. Are those rubber strings? Well, very different from the original steel strings that we're used to on bass guitars and electric six-string guitars, but these are not rubber. It's actually a silicone material. The silicone has a very warm and effectively smooth sound, surprisingly. Whoever invented this, it was very cool and very unique, but it doesn't function the same way because, as we know, normal guitars have metal strings, and steel strings specifically, because of the magnetic pickups to pick them up. So there's the body. We see knobs, we see a standard body, standard bridge, but between the bridge and the neck, no pickup. As mentioned, there's no metal strings, there's no need for a magnetic pickup. But then how does it work? Well, those silicone strings are feeding into the bridge, and specially designed electronics within the bridge and the body of this guitar, as small as it is, are feeding off of the vibrations. So when those silicone strings are plucked and they vibrate, it then feeds that and transfers that into electric sound, which goes right out into a standard guitar cable and into what you see behind it, a standard bass amp. So it doesn't need any special amplifiers or any other special wires or anything at all. It works just like a real bass guitar on all levels, other than its unique size and its extremely unique strings. This is a real bass guitar. Whoever made this took a very innovative turn. They created something that was much smaller, very compact, and very unique, and yet very gutsy, because anybody that's seen this for the first time probably shrugged and said, I don't know what that is, but I'm not going to try it. But some of the more curious people tried it, and the sound is so warm, it's really an awesome little instrument. So that's our Weird Guitar of the Week. This concludes another episode of The Guitar Show. Special thanks to my guest this week, Dom. Thanks for being on the show. You're awesome. Guys, visit the website, domrocks.com. Check out his music. Buy a couple of those CDs. I got them myself, and they're great. I wouldn't lie to you. Special happy Father's Day to all the dads this week. And again, if you want to be on the show or you have some Q&A that you'd like to send in, we can answer questions right on the show if you're interested. Or you can privately email me, and I'll email you back if you just have a question in general. And if you have a Craigslist submission, by all means, keep sending them in, as I've been getting a couple in, so thanks, guys. And have a great week.